All right, you guys told us on Instagram that you liked the idea of us doing a favorites/review video where we kind of talk about our favorite things of the month and then maybe also review things that we didn't like, because I've seen a lot of YouTubers and people who just do favorites videos, but I thought it would be cooler to add an aspect of like if we read a book that we didn't like or watched a movie that we didn't like, say why we didn't like it, because I think that's a bit more interesting and then you know what not to watch and what to watch.
So it's like 2 in 1.
Yeah. So first up is TV show, and we have been obsessed. That's not even an exaggeration. Like at least 2 episodes a day.
We can't tell you how many hours we have. I don't want to say wasted, that we have spent watching this TV show.
A lot of you have probably seen it already. We're kind of behind everybody else. It came out a little while ago, but it's The Bates Motel. And let me preface by saying we love this TV show because we love Alfred Hitchcock. And The Bates Motel is based on the younger years of the lead character in Psycho. So the murderer in Psycho, it's based on him as a teenager, kind of as a child, and you see how he develops into this person that you see in Psycho.
You're new. When did you move here?
Last night.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, just me and my mom.
Also, because the writing is so good, the character development is
It's phenomenal.
phenomenal.
It is amazing.
That's the word I was going to use.
Yeah.
Phenomenal
It's
and amazing.
phenomenal.
It's good.
Yeah, we appreciate good TV shows and good movies. We see a lot of them, and Bates Motel, yeah, I mean, I'll just say it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for the last 2 seasons, and then like 90% for the rest of the seasons. It's amazing. So
Just watch it.
just go watch it.
You'll see.
Next
is our favorite podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, our next favorite podcast. They kind of go hand in hand if you think about it.
Yeah.
What's our favorite podcast?
My favorite murder.
We've been really into true crime ever since Halloween. We were listening to a bunch of it to kind of get us in the mood for Halloween, but we've just kept listening to it on all of our road trips.
Where did it start? You started listening to My Favorite Murder
I
a while
started
ago.
forever, like before we even started traveling, just because I started getting into true crime, and it's a huge like wave. People are all interested in true crime now. I think there's tons of true crime podcasts, like so many. And it's really interesting to listen to. But if you don't like swearing, it's not for you.
Yeah, the hosts swear a lot, and they can sometimes be a little vulgar, and the content is somewhat graphic because it is My Favorite Murder.
Yeah.
And murder's never like a happy topic. So.
But we love it because these 2 hosts, they go and do research about these murders, and they're not ones that are always covered in the news. Sometimes they are, like they've done Ted Bundy, which he was a famous serial killer. And then they get on and they read you this story, but they don't just read it to you, they kind of talk about it and they tell the story, and sometimes it's ones that haven't been solved, so then they talk about it, and it's fun because you get to try and solve it yourself as well, and that's why we like it so much. It's just really intriguing, and it's a murder mystery, so yeah. I couldn't sleep. We got to this place in, where was it? It was our first place in Germany. Remember I told you we couldn't sleep with the door open because I heard a scary story on the podcast about them sleeping with the door open and seeing ghosts and all this stuff. Anyway, next topic.
That's My Favorite Murder. Next topic is book. I didn't read a book this month.
And actually I didn't either, so I'm gonna go with an old favorite. But as the new year comes, and I know I shouldn't wait till the new year, I can decide right now, but I want to get better at reading books. I want to try and read 1 book a month, which was my goal last New Year, but I'm gonna keep trying. So, my favorite book, it's in my top 5 of like I've ever read. It's called...
Can you tell him? A Walk Across the Sun.
How did you know? Oh.
Because I saw it on your paper.
Yeah, it's called A Walk Across the Sun. It's fiction, but it's based on events that really do happen. It's about these 2 girls from India who, there was a big tsunami and their family dies, and they're trying to go reach their other family in this other part of India, and on their journey there, they get abducted and they get sold into sex trafficking, and they're young teenage girls and they're sisters, and the book kind of follows one of them as she gets trafficked from place to place, and it's written in a way that is from their perspective, their experiences, and it's just so good. You don't have to be into like human trafficking in the sense that like I don't know, like you don't have to be super educated or care about that. Even if you just like a really good read that's intriguing every page. I was reading it in China, and everywhere I went to work, on the bus, when I got home, at lunch, I was reading it because I couldn't put it down.
It can also be very informative because a lot of those things do happen, and I don't think, well, I think there's a bigger awareness now,
but
there's still not enough of an awareness, I think.
It definitely opens your eyes to how real of a problem it is. But it's also fiction enough so that like there's the climax, and then like, I don't know. It's so good. You definitely gotta read it. I recommend that to every single person when they ask me, oh, do you have book recommendations? I always say Walk Across the Sun by Corbin Addison. Next topic is favorite food, and we definitely have a favorite snack this month. And it is, or it is.
Yes.
These German pretzels. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We get them, I'm not even gonna lie, we go get them every single afternoon. We go to the supermarket and get the fresh ones, and they're nice and warm.
She's getting her pretzels.
I can eat these every single day.
Yeah, they just brought them out. Grab me one too, babe. Just any of them.
Oh my goodness. That is heaven right there.
And you would just think, oh yeah, it's just a regular pretzel like back in the States. But no.
It's better.
You break it, this one's a little bit old, but you like will break it and it just like crunches, and on the inside it's all airy and like so good, and there's like just the right amount of salt.
Okay, so we looked it up, and apparently you're supposed to dip these in beer.
Yes.
Well, we don't drink beer, so what have we been doing?
Oh, you want to go get it?
Yeah. It's almost gone. This large container of Nutella is almost gone because we have been dipping our pretzels in Nutella.
I actually looked it up on Google, and a lot of people in Germany, there didn't seem to be like one thing you're supposed to dip it in. Some people said they dip it in sweet mustard. Some people said they dip it in beer. Some people said they just eat it with butter. And so we're just adding to that list with...
We are just putting it in Nutella.
Nutella.
The other favorite food is something that Desiree used to eat when she was little.
I grew up eating this every Christmas. It's a Christmas, what, I don't even know what to call it. Treat, exactly. On Instagram, I asked how many people knew what marzipan was, and like 60% said they didn't know. So here is a stick of marzipan. It is an almond paste and usually has chocolate on the outside, but sometimes not. And here in Germany and in Bavaria especially, you can see them made into little animals that it's like almost like Play-Doh in the sense that you can like create stuff with it. You can see it in Christmas trees and like little Christmas trees. This one is just a log of it,
Hold it up so
and it has chocolate on the outside, and then it's just white on the inside like this. My mom would just slice me little slices, and then I would get to eat it. And it definitely has a unique flavor. I don't even know how to describe it.
Right.
This chocolate isn't the best though, but the marzipan is good.
Yeah, I mean, it almost has the consistency of like an almond joy on the inside.
Kinda.
It's a little gritty, but it's like really sweet and like almondy.
Very sweet and rich, huh?
I don't know how to explain it, but it's good.
It's so good. So if you have a Europe market near you, or like a German market, or even just like some sort of a Christmas area in your grocery store, they might have marzipan. I know they for sure have the, what's it called? The Rittersport, the square ones, and there's a marzipan flavor. You can usually find that at any store. So if you want to try marzipan, you should go try that.
Next is our favorite Instagram account of the month.
I have one. Do you have one?
I don't have one, so I'm just going with Desiree's.
You never look at her account, do you? So for those of you who don't know, we are in the process of adopting, and we're actually going to share a lot more about that come January. But, so I love this Instagram account. Her name is Ellie Larson. Is it Ellie?
I think.
LC.
It's
It's LC Larson.
LC.
Yeah. And they adopted the cutest little girl from China. She has the prettiest white hair, and her name is Nova, and she is super cute. And she is the founder of A Beautiful Mess, and if you have the app A Color Story, she actually created that app as well. So all of her photos are edited with A Color Story. Her photos are really pretty, and they just have the cutest videos and photos of little Nova. look at her pictures every day on my feed and it always makes me happy.
And doesn't she paint too?
Oh, Nova, the
Yeah.
little girl, she paints and she makes the prettiest pictures for like, I don't know how old she is. She's just a few years old. Yeah, so if you want to follow a cute family account with the cutest little girl, definitely recommend them. Anyway.
All right. Next, our favorite movie for the month.
Yay! I'm such an avid movie watcher. We both are. I have two, and one of them is on Netflix. Number one is The Christmas Calendar. It's the new Netflix movie that came out like a month ago. If you haven't watched it, you really should. The writing is so good. The story is such a classic Christmas story that will get you in the mood and feeling festive. In case you're interested, it's also super culturally diverse. Most of the cast is Black. They also have a bunch of other ethnicities in it as well. It's very modern that way. So I definitely recommend that one. The story is about this girl who's kind of stuck in this dead-end job, and she gets this advent calendar from her grandpa, and it's magical. And every day she gets something out of it, and it's a little toy, and it represents something that will happen that day. It's also a love story, and she goes through this period where she's able to follow her dreams and meet the love of her life, you know, everything cliche, and it's just super cute. I highly recommend.
Pause. You got something on there.
Thanks.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then movie number two is also a semi-Christmas movie, and it's called The Shop Around the Corner. And if that sounds familiar, like You've Got Mail, that's because this movie inspired You've Got Mail. It not only inspired it, You've Got Mail literally copied everything about it, basically.
Maybe no one will remember me either, but plenty of people remember my mother. And they think she was fine, and they think her store was something special. You are nothing but a suit.
That's my cue. Good night.
I have to laugh when I think of you calling me an old maid. You little insignificant clerk.
Goodbye, Miss Nova.
Goodbye, Mr. Colic.
It's super, super good. It's the same story, but since it's back in the day, they're both working at this department store, and they hate each other, just like they do in You've Got Mail, and they both tell each other how, like, you know, they have to get work off because they have a date that night, but it's a date with this person that they've been pen paling, they've been writing letters to, and it turns out it's each other that they've been writing the letters to. It's super cute and super good. You can't find it on Netflix, but I just watched it online.
You just gave away the whole synopsis.
I did not. Everybody's seen You've Got Mail.
Okay.
So that was it for our review and our favorites. We'll probably review more things that we don't like next time. And leave us your recommendations down below if you have any favorites that you're like, you have to watch this movie or read this book. Let us know.
And who knows, they might be included in our favorites for next month.
Are we gonna do one next month? Should we do these every month?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's
Maybe.
do it.
Okay. So.
Peace out. See you guys later.